Welcome to Live Interactive English, everyone. I am Mike.
And I'm Kiki.
And today we are going to look at staying at a youth hostel. This is part 1, so we're going to have a few different dialogues all about staying at one of the cheapest places you can stay if you're traveling. This is a great thing to do if you're a younger person, maybe don't have the money to stay in somewhere nicer like a fancy hotel. Maybe you don't care about staying in a hotel, you just want a place to put your bag so you can get out there and explore the place that you are visiting. A youth hostel is a great choice. It's also a good place to make friends and meet people if you're traveling alone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Have you ever stayed at a youth hostel, Kiki?
Yeah, I have. In Hong Kong, actually.
In Hong Kong, all right.
Yes.
Well, that's not a bad place because it can be quite expensive to stay at a hotel in Hong Kong.
Right, and we were really just, we were kind of just passing through. So we just really needed a place to lay our head for the night.
One quick night stay.
Yeah, go for dinner because the next day we were out of there.
There you go.
What was really cool about the youth hostel is that besides the rooms, they often have these really nice common areas.
They do, indeed, yes. And they often have lots of free stuff that you can do, like free Wi-Fi or snacks. And they might have games like pool tables or ping pong tables. It's kind of like a hotel mixed with a college dormitory, like the kind of place students will stay. And kind of like a place for students, they will often have rooms that you will be sharing with other people. So as we said, if you like to meet new people, that's a great place to do it. If you like to share notes and trade tips on traveling, right? You get there and people say, oh, you got to go to this great market. It's not in the tourist guides. You know, you can get this information at the youth hostel, but you will also probably not have the privacy that you might want. You're sharing rooms. There'll be one bathroom that lots of people use, but much cheaper than that hotel where you get your own room. So, you know, it's a choice that you might want to make. But for saving money, very little beats staying at a youth hostel. So let's check it out. Edmund phones the front desk of a hostel. A staff member answers.
Good morning, Adventure Hostel. How can I help?
Hi there. I will be staying at your hostel soon, and I have a few questions.
Of course. Fire away.
First, do you serve breakfast?
Yes, all of our guests receive complimentary breakfasts for as long as they are staying with us.
Great. Second, do you have free Wi-Fi?
We do, but it isn't available in the rooms. If you want to use it, you'll have to be in our common room.
Okay, good to know. Thanks so much for your help.
Not a problem.
All right, so we are staying at a youth hostel. This is part 1. Let's get into it. Our first section is all about getting information, probably before you go there or when you check in, right? You need to know some basic information. You've got some basic questions. So asking questions or making inquiries, as someone might say. An inquiry is kind of like a question. It's a request for information. You want to know stuff. So Edmund phones the front desk of a hostel. A staff member answers, I guess we can guess. Edmund probably checked in just a short while ago. He's getting settled, he's getting comfortable, but he's like, hey, wait a minute. I want to know about something. So he's asking.
All right, so the staff? Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Adventure Hostel. How can I help?
Pretty standard way someone working there would answer the phone anytime someone calls. And Edmund, he says, hi there, I will be staying at your hostel soon. So it might be the day before he checks in. I will be staying at your hostel soon, and I have a few questions. So there you go. Before he gets there, he wants to get a bit of information, might be quite important, so he wants to know as soon as possible.
And it's the staff's job, of course, to answer any questions. So the staff says, of course, fire away. No.
Oh, okay.
Just go ahead, ask your question.
Shoot. You might also say, just ask questions.
ask.
Okay, no guns involved here. No one's shooting a cannon at anyone. They're firing or shooting questions at each other. Okay, so fire away. Here's his first question. And we know it's his first question because he says, first, do you serve breakfast? So that's the number one thing he wants to know. What about breakfast? That's a good question, right? You know, because if you're new in town, you might not know where to go and buy breakfast. Or if you get up really early, some places might be closed. So can I just get breakfast at the hotel? I'd like to know about this.
And this hostel is good because the staff member says, yes, all of our guests receive complimentary breakfasts for as long as they are staying with us.
Wow.
So complimentary means free.
Free breakfast?
You get free breakfast.
You're paying for the room.
Right.
But it's included in the price.
Yes.
It might be actually a little more expensive to stay at this hostel, but yeah, you get this free breakfast. It's convenient. I mean, they're not going to bring you every perfect egg and bacon and thing you want on a silver plate. It's probably downstairs. You'll have a basket of bananas, some bread, some jam, simple stuff like that. But yeah, definitely enough to get you some food to get you out there and, you know, keep you going until snacks or lunch later on. And yeah, it's free. So they serve that every day in the hostel. That just basically means the staff there will prepare it and lay it out for you. They could bring it to your table the way a waiter would serve you at a nice restaurant, or they could just prepare the dining room area with the baskets of food and the pots of coffee and, you know, bottles or pitchers of juice. It's all prepared. It's all set out. It's served out there for you so you can enjoy it as much as you want. I know this great restaurant that serves food 24 hours a day, basically meaning they're there preparing food. If you want it, they have the food. Come on in and enjoy.
Okay, so the next word we have here is receive, and it's basically when someone gives you something.
Or I take that thing.
Yes.
I will receive that from you.
Yes, you might receive a letter from your long-lost pen pal.
Oh, my long-lost pal. Look, I got a letter. I received this letter in the mail today.
Yes, Chinese New Year, you'll receive a hongbao.
I don't usually receive a hongbao.
Well, that's too bad.
But I will receive a Christmas present.
Okay.
At Christmas.
That's good. Well, Eileen received many cards on her birthday.
Oh, that's nice. So she got cards. Yeah, so you can receive it by hand. If I give you a card, you're receiving it maybe through the mail or even by email or something, right? You might receive lots of birthday greetings on Facebook. Okay, so they do have breakfast and it is free. That's great. Edmund, remember, had a few questions or inquiries. Here's number 2. He says, great. That's great news about the free breakfast or the complimentary breakfast. Very cool. Second question or inquiry number 2, do you have free Wi-Fi? He wants to know. Very important question, especially if you're one of those workers, right? A digital nomad, and you might have to be working or in touch with people a lot. Yeah, can I do all this and use it for free at the hostel?
Well, the staff says we do, but it isn't available in the rooms. If you want to use it, you'll have to be in our common room.
Okay, well, they'll probably have kind of tables or even desks there. It's a good place to work anyways, but it might be noisy at times if people are hanging out there. So that might be a little bit different for Edmund. So not in the room, but they do have it in other areas. He says, okay, good to know. So this is useful information. Thanks so much for your help. A very polite way to thank a person after they've done you a good service.
And of course, as a service member, you are always friendly. So not a problem.
You're very welcome.
All right, so let's take a break and we'll find out more about Edmund's trip next.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次绘画是关于入住青年旅社。 那么 Youth Hostel 就是青年旅社。第一段对话小标题我们看到是 making inquiries， 那么 inquiry 或者是念作 inquiry 这个名词它就表示询问打听。那对话里面的主角 Edmund 他打电话到旅社柜台，他不久后就要入住这一间旅社，有几个问题想要请教工作人员，那么对方就回答说 Of course。Fire away。好，那这边的 fire away 是口语用法，用来表示对方可以开始说话或是提问，意思就是说吧，开始吧。所以这边的 fire away 跟枪火炮弹是没关系的。那这时候 Mike 老师有用到 cannon 这个字 ，C-A-N-N-O-N，cannon 就是指说旧时以前的那种大炮火炮。好，那么 Edmund 他其实是想要了解旅社有没有提供早餐，还有免费无线网路。对方回答说，只要是入住他们旅社的所有旅客都可以享用免费早餐。那至于免费无线网路，房间里面是没有啦。那你要使用的话，就要到公共休息室才有。好，我们来看单字 serve 它表示提供，像是提供食物或饮料。receive 这个动词则表示得到、收到。那刚刚说到这个使用网络 ，Mike 老师有提到 digital nomad。Digital nomad 就是数位游牧工作者，这一类的工作者会把生活跟工作结合，他们也许会到世界各地游走，然后利用他们的数位装置来进行远端工作，不受到办公室的限制，非常自由。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
A few days later, Edmund is sitting in the Adventure Hostel common room. He starts talking to another guest, Kelsey.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you know this city well?
Kind of. I've been here for 2 weeks.
Do you know any cheap restaurants that serve good local food?
Oh yeah, the food here is great. For the cheap stuff, head over to the Central Market. It stays open until midnight, and you'll find only local dishes there.
That sounds perfect. How far away is it?
It's about a 5-minute walk. Just follow the river and you'll get there.
Excellent. I'll head out now.
All right, we're back from the break. Edmund is now staying at the youth hostel. He has arrived, okay? And this part 2 or the second section of our dialogue is about receiving suggestions. So we can assume he has come to this place that he's never been to before, and he wants to know what kinds of things he might be able to do, see, or eat.
Oh, okay. Since he's new in town, he might meet other guests or staff at the youth hostel who can give him suggestions, recommendations, advice, tips on good places to go, when to go, what places. Don't bother with that. It's not good. It's expensive. It's crowded. You know, this kind of good inside information that can make your holiday much more enjoyable.
Yep, and you know what? So, a few days later, Edmund is sitting in the Adventure Hostel common room. Okay, we mentioned being able to meet other travelers in the common room, and he starts talking to another guest.
Okay.
Kelsey.
So Edmund begins the conversation. He's got to be a little brave and, you know, start the small talk. But he sees Kelsey there. Maybe she's just working on a computer on her phone. And he says, hey, sorry to bother you. A very polite way to interrupt someone when you don't know them and, you know, they're busy. Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you know this city well? In other words, have you been here a while? Do you have some information? Or are you like me? You just got here last night and you're kind of new. But do you know it well? Have you been here a long time?
Well, he's lucky because Kelsey replies, kind of. I've been here for 2 weeks.
Oh, so she doesn't live there. She hasn't moved there. Or if she has, she's only been there for a short time. But still, 2 weeks is better than 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 weeks. She might have had a chance to explore already.
Yeah.
All right, so our vocabulary word here is bother. Okay, so Edmund didn't want to bother Kelsey. So when you bother someone, it's usually when you are annoying someone or you might be interrupting someone while they're doing something. All right, so our example sentence is, Jennifer's brother kept bothering her for the whole car ride.
Well, it's not a surprise that the word brother and the word bother are only different by one letter.
Good point.
I used to bother my sister quite a lot. I was professional. So here's a great question that Edmund has for Kelsey. He asks her, do you know any cheap restaurants that serve good local food? Yes, a very good question, and also important that he uses those adjectives. Cheap restaurant. He doesn't want to go to the one that's super expensive, and good local food. He doesn't want nasty food that will make him sick, and he doesn't want like, oh yeah, there's a McDonald's over there, there's fast food. No. I want to eat the local stuff, but I don't want to spend a lot, but I want it to be, good quality. So not super cheap, but also not super expensive.
Yep, Kelsey says, oh yeah, the food here is great. So in general, the food is pretty good. For the cheap stuff, head over to the Central Market. It stays open until midnight. And you'll find only local dishes there. So that's very important emphasis.
Important. Yeah.
Because you can find local stuff.
Right. So it won't be American burgers and pizza or stuff like that. It will be whatever the local food is. It'll be good. There'll be a big choice at the market and not too expensive. So lots of stuff to find and enjoy there. When we say stuff, we're just talking about things. 东西. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be my stuff that I take to school. It could be the stuff I plan to put in my suitcase to take on holiday. Or it could be the stuff I keep in my bedroom that you can't touch. But I don't have to say, oh, it's my clothes and books and this and that. No, it's my stuff, okay? So it's a very good general term for things. Many types of things. Any type of thing, really. The only other thing you should remember about this word is it's always plural, right? You never have a stuff and then stuffs. It's just stuff, and it's always more than one thing, all right? So Dave only wears expensive stuff. If he's wearing it, I'm imagining this expensive stuff is clothing or perfume or shoes or something like that. Since he's wearing this stuff, it's probably clothes. Back to Edmund. He says, that sounds perfect. Local market, good local food, not too expensive. Great, just what I want. How far away is it? Now he's getting into the details of how to get from here, the hostel, to there, the market.
And she has the information he needs. It's about a 5-minute walk.
Not too far.
Just follow the river.
Easy.
And you'll get there.
Simple. Anyone can do that. Excellent, he says. Wonderful news, good instructions, doesn't sound hard. Excellent, all good. I'll head out now. In other words, I'll get going now. I guess he's hungry, he's keen to explore the city, and the market, and a little 5-minute walk sounds a great way to begin. That's all the time we have, guys. But we'll be back with more good stuff very, very soon. Until then, happy travels, safe travels, and bye-bye.
第二段对话的小标题是 Receiving suggestions 获得建议，那么 suggestion 就是建议提议。Mike 老师这时候有提到 recommendation 就是 recommend 后面加上 ation 构成这个名词，也可以指推荐建议的意思。那我们看到对话里面的 Edmund 他坐在旅社的公共休息室，他开始跟另一位房客 Kelsey 交谈。他对 Kelsey 说很抱歉打扰他，想问他是否很了解这座城市，那想要请他推荐便宜又有提供在地美食的餐厅。Kelsey 已经待在这边2周了，他建议 Edmund 如果想要便宜的东西，可以去中央市场，只要沿着河走路，大约5分钟就到了。好，那我们来看单字 bother 它表示打扰、烦扰，是个动词。那么 stuff 则是指东西、物品，那注意它是不可数名词哦。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 until 是指说直到什么什么时，在什么什么之前，它可以当连接词或者是介系词，表示动作持续到某个时刻才停止。它当连接词的话，后面就是接子句；当介系词的话，后面就是接时间名词。那我们造2个例句。Rita stayed up until she finished the book. Rita 熬夜直到她把书看完。那这时候 until 是当连接词。 Rita stayed up until 3 a.m. Rita 熬夜到凌晨3点钟。那这时候 until 是当介系词。好，那么以上的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Edmund phones the front desk of a hostel. A staff member answers.
Good morning, Adventure Hostel. How can I help?
Hi there. I will be staying at your hostel soon, and I have a few questions.
Of course. Fire away.
First, do you serve breakfast?
Yes, all of our guests receive complimentary breakfasts for as long as they are staying with us.
Great. Second, do you have free Wi-Fi?
We do, but it isn't available in the rooms. If you want to use it, you'll have to be in our common room.
Okay, good to know. Thanks so much for your help.
Not a problem.
A few days later, Edmund is sitting in the Adventure Hostel common room. He starts talking to another guest, Kelsey.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you know this city well?
Kind of. I've been here for 2 weeks.
Do you know any cheap restaurants that serve good local food?
Oh yeah, the food here is great. For the cheap stuff, head over to the Central Market. It stays open until midnight, and you'll find only local dishes there.
That sounds perfect. How far away is it?
It's about a 5-minute walk. Just follow the river and you'll get there.
Excellent. I'll head out now.
Hey, it's KiWi on the street.
I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Oh, by the way, have you seen Tom, our assistant?
Tom?
You were supposed to send him the address.
Tom.
He was supposed to be here today.
Dress.
Yes.
I think I've made a mistake.
Oh, no. Well, you better tell our producer because you're going to have to apologize.
Oh no, I really did wrong, didn't I?
Well, we'll see. How do we apologize for our mistakes?
Let's work on some translations. Okay, the first one is 对不起，我犯错了.
Sorry, I make the mistake.
Sorry, I made a mistake. 对不起，我犯了错。I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Oh, very good. Or I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, next we also have 我做错了.
我做错了。I did it wrong.
I made a mistake.
I was wrong.
Oh, very good. I was wrong or I made a mistake. Yeah. Okay, so what have we learned today? Welcome to today's translations. Our first one is sorry. I made a mistake. Here we have our noun, which is mistake, when you do something wrong or incorrectly. Our verb is make, but because it is in the past tense, made, that means we already did something incorrectly. We are making one mistake, so we made a mistake. Pay attention to the meaning it is singular, one mistake. In general, you would make mistakes. That means it's plural, so you made more than one mistake. Then we have our second translation. You could say I made a mistake, or you could even say what I did was wrong. So you did something incorrectly. Our verb is did, and that means it is the past tense of do. So you already made this mistake. That's all we have for today. KiWi later.